I'm almost to the bus station, the transit center here in Corvallis, and I think this is the bus I'm getting on, going to Adair Village.
Yeah.
Next stop is City Hall.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm back in Adair Village. It's raining. I am a fool in the rain. Looks like that might not be going on for long because I can see glimpses of blue and it's just a light drizzle. When I checked the forecast today, it was supposed to be not very rainy. I can see drops on the screen though. Anyway, today I have something different planned. I am on foot. I took the bus here. And the bus only runs to Adair Village 4 times a day. So if I wanted to go back on the bus, I'd have to wait about 4 hours. So I'm going to be doing something different down the road. Right there is Adair County Park. The site of one of my first videos over 2 years ago when I first was getting started. And I'm not going in there today, and I'm passing by, and Adair Village is not very large, that's why it's called Adair Village, and I'm about to leave town. This is the Officers Club Historic Event Venue. I don't really know what that means. I can make a couple guesses. And it is interesting that Adair Village really has just the basics. Model Railroad Club, big concrete building that doesn't make sense, and a vintage historic event venue. But it doesn't have a post office. This building might have a history. Usually when I see an older building like that, even one that's closed, there will be a sign outside, you know, talking about its historical origin. And usually they're not closed all the time. Sometimes they're still in use. This one looks like it's totally closed and it's just sitting here. And also, even though parts of the building look old, the steps and the handrails and the foundation look new. So this might have been a historical building, probably a church, maybe a schoolhouse, maybe a Grange Hall. Could have been moved here from a different location. But it is kind of a shame that a historical building like that, there's no really clues here outside to where it is. I'm sure I could find the information somewhere, but just coming across it, it's a little bit surprising. And now we continue. When I said there was only the basics like a model railroad facility, I was a little bit inaccurate because there's also a model airplane park. So yeah, there's a variety of different things in Adair Village. And I'm actually going to make a little separate video about this park. So right now, I've just left Adair Village. I'm on this country road, and I'm waiting for the SD card on my Sony to repair itself. There was some type of database indexing error or something, and it's repairing it. Hopefully I won't lose any data. If I do though, I guess we'll just jump into me walking along this road. And this is my Pixel. Has good picture quality, doesn't zoom as well, and it's probably a little bit shaky. Anyway, so I'm just going to continue to walk on this road, and I'm actually walking to Albany. Should only be 4 or 5 miles, so it's really something I should be able to knock out pretty quickly, but we'll see. And of course, my goal isn't to do things as quickly as possible. It looks like it is working now. So I'm walking along a country road between Adair Village and North Albany, and my camera, this video camera, had a formatting problem and it had to reset the drive. Hopefully the videos I took, or the clips I took before that happened, will still be working. If not, this will just be a surprise. How did I get here? So far this road has been pretty easy to walk down. Not a lot of traffic and a pretty wide shoulder. Still, this is, you know, not designed for walking. Not a lot of pedestrian traffic in this area. This is Independence Highway. Goes from, well, it goes from US 20 in that direction, then on to Corvallis, and then northward goes into Independence. Kind of a coincidence. And also by Buena Vista and other places. And otherwise, we just have this big old gravel parking lot here. I'm gonna stop and have a piece of chocolate on the highway for a while, and this highway's a bit busier. Luckily, I don't have far to go, but I'm gonna put the camera down and focus on walking and being aware. So here's a turn off to the left, and we're leaving the highway, so hopefully there should be less traffic. Unfortunately, that can also sometimes mean less shoulder, so I might continue to be careful. A nice walk in general, but you know, have caution when doing this type of stuff. Country roads can be a lot worse than city roads. When I was a teenager, about 16, 17 years old, I spent a lot of time doing this, just walking for hours down country roads. In that case, it was closer to Salem around Marion County, not Benton County, but just all over the place. I'd go for these walks and I'd think about things. At the time, I was actually listening to a lot of KRS-One, thought a lot about that type of thing, thought a lot about why society was the way it was. Ask yourself, why is that? And of course, the context of doing that, walking down a country road in the Willamette Valley, very different than, you know, the traditional where hip-hop came from. But there's a lot to think about where I am right now. So even though this is just a country road, I haven't interacted with anybody, you know, and I haven't, you know, I left Adair Village and I've just been field after field. There's a lot to think about for me. So on the map, I think the walk was only like 4.5 miles, and I think I've done about a half of that. So really, I mean, this walk would really be the equivalent of me walking to one of the further grocery stores and back. And it didn't start raining again, so this is just like a quick zippy trip. But still, you know, I'm seeing things a little bit different. It's all as different when you take a road for the first time. So, you know, it's still a little bit adventurous, but I've done much longer. So a while ago, somebody actually stopped and asked me if everything was going fine. You know, and that was probably a friendly gesture. You know, this isn't a road that usually see people walking along. Sometimes, though, when I get the questions like that, there's like a little bit of suspicion. What are you doing out here? Especially if I haven't shaved for a couple of days. So this is the thing. Sometimes, you know, I get up and I'm a little discouraged. It's raining. You know, I feel tired. I'm like, what's going to happen? But, you know, this day, weather and the vibe has turned out to be mostly perfect. The walk has been a little bit difficult, a little bit more traffic in places, but in general, very peaceful. So yeah, I'm having a good day, and I always just like seeing what's around. So this says 4 miles to Albany, but I think that's 4 miles to the center of Albany. I think it's only a little bit down this road before I can get to a place where I'll be more or less in the city, have a sidewalk, and also at some point a bus will come. But we will see. I've been wrong before. I am not actually sure if I am where I want to be. I might have taken a wrong turn. Up ahead, it looks like we'll have a place to have a vantage point, and from there I will decide whether to turn around. I have a suspicion about what I might have done, or maybe not. We'll see up here. Interestingly, for a long time, I did not have a cell phone with data because it interrupted me when I was trying to be outside of the data sphere. Now I do. So if I want to, yeah, I can just check Google Maps really easily, but I try not to be too dependent on that. Anyway, we will find out right here where I am. Well, right here, this does look to be something. This is Albany, and I'm going to assume this is where I'm looking for. If not, I'll just learn something new. But I am going in the right direction, or one of the right directions. So now I know exactly where I am, and I came from those hills over there, and then right here, this is reuniting this particular bit of logic. This is where I came last February when I went to North Albany. So I've completed the walk. I will probably wait for a bus because there will be a bus here pretty soon. This is Gibson Hill Park in North Albany, Benton County. A nice park. I don't have time to be here because right here next to the fire station there is a bus stop, and I believe that a bus is coming in about like 15 minutes. Well, we'll have time to have a snack, but I'm not going to spend much time here. Well, it's currently, according to my watch, 3:13 p.m. and as you can see, 3:10 p.m. So I might be 3 minutes late, or maybe the bus is late. So I'm going to wait here a couple minutes. If not, I'll keep walking because I don't want to wait another 80 minutes. I think that looks like a bus there, so it looks like I'm doing good. I'm here at LBCC. I took a bus here. I've probably said this before. The buses in Albany don't make a lot of sense. So I'm going to be waiting here for a while, for another half hour, to get a bus back to Corvallis. Actually about 40 minutes, but that's not the worst thing in the world. And I'm going to go inside the campus and see if maybe there is something going on in there. The video, but there's some type of construction going on in here. Very echoey. So this looks like a very nice courtyard, especially if you like 70s brutalism. Probably be nicer if it wasn't totally empty, but it's January. I keep on saying that. Anyway, so it doesn't look like there's much going on here, so I'm just going to go outside and wait and actually get some hydration. I didn't drink anything and I walked quite a few miles, so time to drink one of my Diet Cokes. I said a little while ago that the weather and the climate can be a little bit of an illusion at this time of year. A couple hours ago it was 2 p.m. and I was walking down the road and the sun was out and I was like, yeah, I feel pretty jazzy. Yeah, I could just walk all the way to Salem. Why not? And now, about 2.5 hours later, I'm sitting on a mostly empty community college. The clouds are out. The sun will set in about an hour, and as you can see from these clouds, we don't have a lot of direct sunlight. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's still winter. I want to go home. So I'm back at Corvallis. It's 2 minutes before 5 p.m. and look at, the sun is still up in the sky. The sky is still blue. So I do like this. I left home, the bus left for Adair Village at 12:47 p.m. and I guess it's almost exactly 4 hours later and I had that entire adventure. So I do like the days getting longer, even though, you know, they're still pretty short. And it gets cold pretty quick after the sun sets.